Mary Baker, welcome to my podcast.
Oh, thanks, Dom.
I think it's worth mentioning at the outset. You weren't even on my radar, and you messaged me out of the blue and said, "Can I come on your podcast?" Or words to that effect.
Yeah, well, basically, I want to have a look at your setup, Dom. So I wanted to make sure that we're looking at to do something quite similar, but in a different sense. So we're going to talk about that afterwards. So I thought I'd come to the person who actually does podcasts. So, yeah, so we're looking at to do a Māori Pacifica one, and we're just trying to get funding for it. So I thought, why not talk to Dom, actually be on his podcast and try and get some money at the same time?
Oh, no, I really appreciated the courage. And since I've been, courage is the word, confidence, I don't know. But since I've been doing this podcast, that's happened a bit where people have asked to come on. The first couple of times it happened, I thought, oh, that person fucking rates themselves. and then as I've gone on, I've realised the issue with that is me. That's like a tall poppy thing, and I was part of the problem. So now when someone reaches out to me and says, can I come on your podcast? I'm not always going to say yes. It's not always going to be a fit.
Oh, it's not fuck here straight away.
Eh?
It's not fuck here straight away?
No, but I even if it's not a yes, I applaud people doing it. I think it's really cool, and I'm trying to change my mindset and the way I view those things, because it's very un-Kiwi, isn't it, to put yourself forward like that?
I think it is, and that's why, like, things like this. I think your podcast, what I've liked about it is that it's a range of people. It's not just sport. It's not high level, not always high level people. It's people out of the blue that have got a really good story, and then you're able to draw it out of them. So that was one of the things why I thought, you know what, this would be great to start off with, see what it looks like. Come on, maybe have a look at my own story.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to fill in some blanks, because I researched quite a bit, and I reached out to some people in the community as you, and not a lot of information came back from my digging. But I feel like if you're willing to put yourself forward to come on, then you're willing to tell the stories as well. So who is Mary Baker? In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, so I was born and bred down in the bottom of the earth, so basically on a farm that could see Stewart Island. So that's, I guess we were the only Māori farmers in that area. So my parents owned a farm when I was really young, and then right up to I was about 16, we moved off that in a 10-acre block outside of Invercargill. So went to high school down there, played a lot of hockey, field hockey, played for New Zealand age groups, and then went to St Margaret's in Christchurch, which is a private school. Not a lot of Māoris.
South Island is no place for a Māori.
It's getting better.
70s, 80s?
80s, 80s and 90s. So very much just attached to my culture. So ended up playing hockey there. We made some New Zealand sides and things like that. Got burnt out. Would be the word. So I was in a New Zealand Deso Academy, and basically I just couldn't do it anymore. And what I wanted to talk about is, like, coming from a Māori family right down the bottom of the earth is around about what happens in Māori families, especially when alcohol's involved. And then how that translates into sport and what happens in sports teams and things like that. So I ended up basically stopping playing hockey when I got out of school, went to university at Canterbury University, stopped playing hockey altogether, started playing rugby. The culture in rugby is one of the best cultures that you'll ever find. I've got best friends there and things like that. But on the flip side of that, there's also this drinking binge culture that I gravitated towards. And so I had a great time. Lots and lots of drinking.
On the field and off the field.
Yeah. On the flip side, there's lots and lots of drinking, right? Yeah. So played a lot of rugby, played for Canterbury, played Sevens as well for Aotearoa Māori for 10 years. Then I went on to play rugby league. It was Kiwi firm. We won a World Cup in 2004. Played, did the first Queensland versus New South Wales, played for Queensland. Then went overseas and played, coached overseas for 10 years, and then came back home. So since I've been home, sobriety, stopped drinking. It started happening a couple of years ago where I stopped drinking.
At what age?
I completely stopped was this year. But for the last 3 years, I've sort of like maybe had a drink or two or things like that, and haven't touched really any alcohol for this whole year sort of thing. And what that's done, and I tell you what, I think alcohol, for one thing, sport is great. You've got your friends, right? When you stop playing sport, everyone's doing their own thing, but your alcohol, you still can drink and you can still go out with your mates and whatever. When you stop playing sport and you stop drinking, sobriety is actually fucking hard. Like, not drinking, it's not the fact that it's the alcohol. You can stop drinking alcohol, that's the easy bit. It's actually all the emotional things that come with alcohol. It's like numbing, and you don't get to feel it because you get to go out and drink with your mates and have a good time. Yeah, your dopamine fix. But once that stops, it's actually fucking hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot to unpack. So I appreciate that introduction.
Yeah.
It's like the condensed version of the Mary Baker story.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to a recent time, then we'll go all the way back. So you sort of, I suppose your phone was popping off a couple of years ago when Ruby Tui's book came out. Ruby Tui, probably the biggest thing in New Zealand women's rugby at the moment. So in the opening chapter of her book, you get a mention. And first of all, I want to know, like, did she give you heads up? Like, did she message you, say, hey, Mary, I'm going to talk about you in the book. Is this all good? Or is it a complete surprise and you just start getting texts from people saying, oh, shit?
Yeah, no, she contacted me when, I guess, the writer was writing the book and said, can you, like, sit down and have a discussion with this writer where I'm writing my biography, basically. I was like, yeah, sweet ass, whatever, you know. Like, fuck you.
Whatever.
Yeah, like, you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. So she rang me up and we sort of talked about, like, you know, what Ruby was like. And we all know, if you look at Ruby now, you know that she's one of the best. She's inspirational. She's an amazing rugby player, but she's also an amazing human. So those sorts of things came through about, you know, what sort of rugby player she was when she was back then. But then she was like digging deep about rugby history. And so I think you can Google it now on Sevens, and you get the Aotearoa Sevens. You can actually get that now. Man, a couple of years ago, you couldn't get that history. You couldn't get anything like that. And so a lot of the history's been lost. But now it seems to be like little bits in here are coming back, so it paints a picture. But she actually painted a huge, that writer in Ruby's book, painted a picture of that history of Rugby Sevens. So it was great. So I think she did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. So you met Ruby when she was 18, first year of uni, and her first time playing rugby and sevens.
Yeah.
And then she tells the story about, well, she calls you famously abrupt. Is that fair?
I would say that I'm like honest. Like I think it's, I don't know if it's abrupt. I have over the years curbed, like, you know, that's when I coached Ruby, it was my first ever coaching gig. So can imagine transitioning from just playing to being a coach. And I'm abrasive, like, you know, I'm already abrasive as it is. So my personality transformed into coaching, and I kind of was still in the player mentality, was like, well, fucking just run. Yeah. Like, just like, why can't you get from there to there? Like, what is your problem? So it took me a long time in the coaching space to actually realise, oh, actually, you've got to break things down. You've actually got to coach the technique. You've actually got to go through all this process. So Ruby got basically a real fresh out of the boat coach, but also I'm still the same personality. I'll still tell her. Yeah,
well, she was a fresh out of the boat player as well.
Yeah.
So it's fresh player, fresh coach.
I still tell her that she's got the most ugliest pass in women's rugby.
Is she? Well, I'm not a rugby player.
Oh,
so
it's
I don't
awful.
Why? Why is it awful?
I have no idea.
It's been effective.
Well, it gets there.
How does it? So being an abrupt person, how does that work in 2023? Because it feels like these days, like the threshold for bullying is very, very low.
Very low. Yeah. Thanks, Dom. I know that you've gone through this yourself. You've just got to make sure that you tweak a little things.
Yeah. Have you had to soften your approach over the years?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that comes with a bit with maturity as well.
There's a little bit of maturity. There's big part of it is like knowing your players, knowing who you can say, what are you up to? You know, really delivering the message. You know, there's certain players that will allow you to deliver it the way that it's blunt as, and they'll sift through it and go, yep, I get the message. But there's other players that actually need a little bit of a sugar coating on it. So you just really got to understand the player that you're dealing with. Otherwise, you get your bullying thing going on, Dom.
Yeah, because my very first boss in radio was a guy called Steve Rowe, and he would drag me into his office. So I was 17, 18, 19 at the time. And he would just tear me a new one. He would destroy me, and he'd be red in the face, and he'd have veins popping out of the side of his neck and the side of his face. And you know what? I needed it. I needed it at the time. And I responded well to it. Whereas I suppose that's the management style with a lot of other people. They'd be trotting off to HR immediately.
Well, there's, like you said, if you look at some of the players, and it's great to see some coaches give some inspirational, some are growth, some are development, but there's some coaches just like, hey, here's the expectation. If you want to be in this team, you've got to meet it. And if you can't meet it, catch you later. So the high performance space has actually changed. I think it's changing. It might not be quite there in New Zealand, but you look at Chelsea football, the woman coach over there, she's just like, man, if you don't want to be in Chelsea, get the fuck out. Like she's just like, you're either a Chelsea player or you're not. And I actually think what's going to happen is that once that high performance program starts moving really quickly and gets to where everyone is competing for like 4 to 5 different spots, you are going to get either you want to be here or you can keep on going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a necessity, I think, with high performance sport. So the story that Ruby tells in the opening chapter of her book,
shit.
Do you want to retell it from your version of events?
Well, I actually can't remember this conversation until I read it a few times. I had to think about it.
Hey, by the way, just before you get into that, I'll just I've got a quote here from that chapter of Ruby's book.
Well, you did do your homework.
This year we are coached by Maddie Baker, famously abrupt, really honest, never says anything for fluff. I'm really trying, but it seems nothing I do is good enough for Baker. God, you must have been like so, I don't know, stoked when you read that. I'd be honoured.
You reckon that's honest? Well, I was just like, when I read it, it's like, what the fuck, Ruby? People are going to think I'm crazy because there is something else in that book where I'm kicking water bottles, but.
I didn't get to that.
No, yeah, good. And I'm just like, what? And she goes, yeah, but Maddie, that's, this is a story of some true honesty here, that you were really honest, and I valued that. And to this day, if you ever ask Ruby about feedback, you can give it to her as plain as what day as you want, and she'll take that feedback and go away.
From everyone, or just people she respects?
Everybody. I coached her in PE and Sevens in the States because she had a sabbatical. And I was like, how's it going? She goes, I fucked up a 2-on-1. I go, yeah, you did fuck up a 2-on-1. Simple. It's so simple with her. You know what I mean? She like recognises it. We talk about it, move on. And like, she's easy to coach. Just like, yeah, you probably should have passed that. And she's like, no. I was like, damn. And you can have those, and you can have that banter with her. So she's a player that you can do that with. And because she's so professional as well, she'll go away and think about things. She's really, really good and in-depth thinker. And also, she'll give you the kitchen sink. She'll throw everything into anything. So she's a player you want on your team, because she might not be the most skillful player in the world, but man, she just gives 120%, and those are the people that you want. You don't necessarily need all the flashy players in the world, but you need those players that'll go past 100%.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she wasn't always like that, so that's the story she tells in the book.
Yeah.
Loved rugby, but hated the fitness aspect of it.
Terrible.
Yeah, so yeah. What's your recollection of that story from your side?
So basically we had a bunch of players. Kendra was in that group, Amidia Marsh was in that group, Anika Tiplady was in that group, Hayley Tiplady. Like, we had a bunch of black ferns in that group, plus some Kiwi ferns. Tessa Takahu was in that group. And then we had a few American players in that group, and all of them were like, look, man, the American players, I tell you what, are the fittest motherfuckers in the world. They lift, they run, man, they can do everything. They're robotic. They're just fit, right? And so they spend more time in the gym and running than on their skills. We were at that time. It's a bit different now. The other way around, where we would just be able to play the ball, use our skills and things like that. So in Ruby's case, she was fighting against people that were really fit. Like, they were awesome. They're awesome players. And she was, she says middle, but she was at the back.
So this is like doing some sprints or laps of the field?
Yeah, basically some, I think they were Broncos, or they were like a 300-metre run around there, and you had to catch the other group and things like that. So you kind of, it was quite competitive.
Yeah, we're just interjecting here with bits of Ruby's story. So the way she tells it, She was at practice early, like practicing her passing or something.
I'll tell you, the pass is shit, so Ruby can practice as much as she wants.
And she's like, you turn up, and it's almost like she thinks, hopefully, Medi notices me passing and praises me. And were you in a bad mood that day? Apparently, you just blew your whistle and told everyone to start running.
Yeah, no, that's normal.
Oh, yeah?
That was just obviously I'm not like that now. Yeah. But I was just like, let's get into it. I don't need to, don't piss around, let's go. And she's just like, oh, you didn't say anything to me. Fuck, of course I'm not. Get your ass in there and run, Ruby. But again, look, Ruby was she needed to be in that group who was so good that she needed to see, and this is where mentors are so fucking good, that she needs to see that if you want to be the best, those are the people that you have to compete against, not you. If you keep on competing against yourself, you're never going to be the best. But those are people in front of you. Those are the people in front of you. You've got to catch them. And that's as simple as that. There's no black and white on that one.
Yeah. So she was doing the runs, the shuttles or Broncos, whatever it was.
It's just pissing around would be the word.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think she even sort of admits that in her book. Yeah. She wasn't even trying because she didn't like it. And then you start jogging along beside her and have a chat. Yeah.
I was just like, everything's in your mind. All of these freaking drills that we do are actually in your mind. Your mind is your biggest barrier. Not your physical, not your body. It's your mind. Once you get your mind on board, you'll go. And then basically she just kind of, I don't know what happened, but she just if we were in a car, she'd be moving the gear stick, and she just took off. And I was just like, if you catch those group, you'll be part of the group that are one of the best players in the world.
And she says you told her she could be the best sevens player.
She could be, yeah.
So what year was this?
2000 and... Jeez, I couldn't even tell you, 7.
Yeah, okay, because in 2019, so like a decade later,
yeah,
she was named World Sevens Player of the Year. So you were right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
So you meant? Did you genuinely mean it? Like, how did you see that in her as an 18-year-old playing her first year of rugby? Or were you just sort of like pumping up her tires?
No, I would never do that. Absolutely not.
So it was genuine. You genuinely believed that.
Yeah.
Why? So she was unfit, like lazy at running, had a terrible pass.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
It's the person within.
Right.
Like, I knew that she had, because she has traits of being the best. Like you can see it in players before they even, you can just see talent, right? So Ruby what she did have was she could change speed. She was tall. She had levers, so she could offload if she needed to. She had the ability to get strength quite easily. And if she put the work in, she'd be freaking fit pretty quickly. And her mindset was pretty good. Like, once she put her mind to it, I thought, yeah, you'll go real far. Did I think she was going to be the best in the world? Well, at that time there was no world, so so maybe.
But that must have been amazing for you in 2019. It's like a full circle moment. Or did you remember saying that, or did she remind you?
No, I remember saying, like, look, I've coached Stacey Flood over in Ireland. I've coached several USA players, a couple of Australians, and generally I kind of didn't really think anything of it, because I feel as though that they just sort of play with each other and it's just a thing, you know what I mean? So I never really think about, oh, that was me. It was kind of like, well, here's a piece of my sort of thing that I can give you, and then, put that in your tool belt, see how that goes, sort of thing. So never go, oh, I made Ruby Tui. No fucking way did I make Ruby Tui. Lots of people made Ruby Tui, and Ruby Tui made Ruby Tui.
Yeah. Oh, but she credits you with teaching her the power of her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, maybe that, there you go.
Claim that?
I'll claim that one. Yeah, sure. I'll take that one.
Okay. All right. So that's enough about Ruby. It's amazing.
Yeah, piss off, Ruby. That book is like haunting me.
Yeah. Has it been an enjoyable experience, though? Like, you're right there at the front of the book, like the very front chapter.
Has it been? Well, look, yeah, it's a funny one, because, like, I've had people go, like, frequently text me or run into me, like, you put your hand out and you introduce yourself. They're like, oh, you're in Ruby Tui's book. And you're like, yeah. Like, Yeah, I'm that one that kicks the water bottles.
Yeah, I'm the one that's famously abrupt.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the? I missed the kicking water bottles thing. Is that in the book as well?
Yeah, so we took them to Australia, and to be honest, from a coaching point of view, it was actually my fault because I didn't do enough contact within our drills. So that's simplifying it. And when we got there, we got ran over by some Tongan players. Like, ran over. Like, I was like, fuck. I was like, why are we not playing to our plan? Like, and it's just like, because we haven't done tackling the whole friggin' trainings that we had, which was like 3 or 4. So I ran them into the ground, but I didn't make them tackle or didn't put a defensive process in. So really good learning point for myself as a coach, but far out, I was kicking those bottles because we were fucking losing to Tonga. I'm like,
Can I just say, we've been chatting for 20 minutes, and I think you've probably got the record now for the most F-bombs in a podcast. Maybe Uncle Tix, who has Tourette's syndrome, is just ahead of you. But I'm here for it. Now that you're sort of in the corporate world, I'm surprised you haven't been told to tone it down or...
Yeah, so...
I love it. You don't want to change the essence of your personality.
Well, I don't swear in certain aspects. Okay. So, obviously, I do a little bit of Sky Sport commentary, and I haven't sworn once on that. And it's kind of funny because, I have a potty mouth, and I know I do. Look, apparently, isn't that the wittiest people with a potty mouth?
I'll claim it.
Yeah, right. So the other thing is that I guess, You walk around and you go, right, I better not swear. But, it's kind of my personality. And, I get people texting me all the time. They're like, I can't believe you're doing commentary and you haven't sworn once. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. It's just, you go into, as someone who did radio for years, you go into performance mode and, You just know.
Yeah,
there is a filter there if you need it.
If you want me to turn the filter off, I can do that for you, Dom.
So, born and raised in Riverton. Where's Riverton? Far south somewhere, near Bluff.
Yeah, so it's probably about 40 minutes out of Invercargill, right south. Yeah.
What was it? Dolphin spotting. What else? What else is there in Riverton?
It's called the Riviera of the South.
Okay.
There's cheese rolls.
Oh yeah.
It's actually one of the look. If you're ever down the South Island, I'll tell you what, it's beautiful down there. The beaches are good. There's surfing down there, diving down there. Stewart Island is just like an hour away on boat. So there's heaps to do in that sense, and everyone loves a good hunt. They love hunting deer and pigs, except me. I cannot stand hunting.
Yeah.
But everyone else I know hunts. So
it's not a great sales pitch for Riverton. That's coming from someone from Palmerston North, because I used to say the same thing.
Palmer Hole.
People say, what's good about Palmer? We'd be like, oh, it's like 2 hours away from the mountain, an hour and a half away from Wellington, and it's like you're encouraging people to leave it.
Well, there's heaps. Look, here's the property market down there. Obviously it's not talking about Auckland prices, but hey, you Aucklanders come down and pick up $300,000 houses. Not anymore; they're 500 now. But you guys flock there. All you see is Aucklanders.
Yeah. So what are your recollections about those years growing up, the early years in Riverton? How many in your family, by the way?
So there's 4 children, 4 of us.
Where are you in the birth order?
Second last. So
second last, and the 2 older brothers, sisters.
2 older sisters and a younger brother.
Right, and did they you play sports with them? Is that where you got the tough streak from?
My father's Māori. Does that help? Look, so 2 older sisters who were very competitive. They both played underage international hockey. So my sister was named in the New Zealand Māori team when she was 17. My older sister was in the under 15s, under 18 New Zealand team, and then I just came along. I was always a ratbag. I was always that cheeky shit, always that one, always getting into trouble. It's probably because I've got ADHD and a little bit of dyslexia going on as well. But I was always the one that was just not doing what they were supposed to be doing. So I was always in trouble. Standard
kid stuff or like proper trouble?
Oh, not that bit. No. Standard, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. What to who? Like people in a position
teacher,
of authority?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, That's not overly standard.
Well, isn't it? Is it not?
No, that seems a little extreme.
Yeah.
The ADHD thing, was it diagnosed, or is that something you've had diagnosed like as an adult?
Yeah, we're going through the process right now. So I've had dyslexia right through. And when I was at St Margaret's, they picked that up. So, but I never did the ADH, but we're going through the diagnosis right now. So a lot of things around ADH has been behavioural, like, no one likes to hear no. Especially ADH people.
No, especially when you've got an abrupt personality.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm ADHD.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you, so it was just not something that was diagnosed at that time. But I mean, apparently the testing's quite comprehensive. You'd know it. You're going through it at the moment. But it's like, I just wonder what difference it would make if I had if I had a label for it.
Yeah, well, I always used to think, I always used to think I was ADHD, whatever. But I also think I've got little sprinkles of everything. I'm just on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, and I've kind of...
I think a lot of us are.
Yeah. I don't know any normal person, okay? That's it. And so I'm just on the spectrum. And, like, the problem was with being on the spectrum, being neurodivergent, I actually spoke at Otago Polytech on superpowers of being dyslexic, is that there's other things that come with it. Like there's some behavioural things that come. There's some things that your nervous system is not regulated as what normal, which I never think anyone's normal, but it's just a little bit off. We're just a little bit off.
Yeah.
We're just a little bit hinged a little bit, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
sort of.
Absolutely, it's part of who you are. But I suppose like telling teachers to go fuck yourself, maybe that's where that came from. The ADHD.
Yeah, I honestly did not do it in St Margaret's, but definitely did it when I was at Aotearoa College. I remember sitting outside the vice principal's office, and this is a small town we're talking about. We're talking about 1,400 people that live there, around that area, and so everyone knows everyone. And so when you're there, they're like, your parents know as soon as you get home. Like, it's not fun. It's not a fun. It's not fun when you know that your parent, when you're sitting there, you've been sitting there since 10 o'clock and you know your parents know. Like,
so what was the discipline like in your household? Was it like smacking?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think my father and he's from a military background as well, farming background, butcher. He was a butcher. So yeah, he was. I would say heavy-handed, but that's an interesting one.
Yeah, because it's I was from a smacking family, and it was never like an abusive household.
Yeah.
But it was always we'd do something naughty during the day, and then Mum would be like, "Wait until your father gets home."
Yeah.
And hours later, like Dad would get home, we'd put over the bed and get the belt.
Oh, is that all you got?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I just.
So ours was always done. I guess what I'm saying is it was a controlled environment. It was never pleasant, and you look back now, and it was actually quite traumatic. But it was always sort of controlled, I guess.
I think it wasn't to the extreme that I would say that OT needs to come in and take us out of the home, but it would have been a bit more heavier than it should have been if that explains it. Yeah. And I think that from that, I really did if your father's saying to you, just give someone a warning and then whack them as part of your upbringing. What do you think that's going to produce? Do you know what I mean? So I definitely had a lot of anger when I came out of that household, like a very much pent up anger, lots of trauma. But, as you go through life, and this is where sobriety, I think, does not help because you actually feel everything. You start those feelings start opening up, and now you're just like, holy crap, overwhelmed with all of these emotions that you never had before because you've hidden it through anger or you've hidden it through alcohol, and now all of a sudden you're this ball of shit.
Yeah, and then I guess there's another layer of that with you where you didn't have that connection to your roots.
Yeah.
Or your culture.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
You're a South Island Māori.
I'm a South Island Māori, but I'm not. I whakapapa te Ngāti Porou Kahanunu. So
where's that?
That is in Gisborne.
Oh, yeah.
Dad's from Mahia. So you're not even a South Island Māori. So you've got to understand that context as well. So you're not from Ngāi Tahu. And so when you go into things, you're like, you're not taho, you don't whakapapa here. So you're not even welcome there.
Yeah.
So, and the interesting thing
you
is,
just don't feel like you belong.
you don't
anywhere.
belong anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So being in, and the interesting facts with that Ngāti Porou, there's like 90,000 members for Ngāti Porou. Only 10,000 live in Gisborne. Everyone else is everywhere else. So we're so disconnected from that anyway. So that plays a huge part, I think.
Yeah. And then Canterbury Uni, after you left Riverton, and you were really good at sport, right? Rep teams for rugby, sevens, touch and league.
Yeah,
So just anything with an oval ball you were good at.
I actually wasn't that good, to be honest. So what I was good, what I was kind of like up for anything, because all my friends were, back in that time, I think that landscape has changed a little bit now through professionalism as well. All your mates are playing. So your mates play touch. So you hang out with them. And I gravitated towards all of the people that were brown. So all of my friends were either Māori or Pacific, except maybe one or two Pākehās who could play ball, right? So we had this group that just went, oh, we'll go play touch. Oh, now we'll go play rugby. Oh, now we'll go play rugby league. And so it just went like this, round and round and round. And at once, I did that for 5 to 6 years. And I got to a point where I was just so burnt out because there was no off season. There was just like, right, we're playing touch now, then we're going to play sevens, we're in Hong Kong playing sevens, then we're coming back, and then we're going into rugby, and then we're doing rugby league, then we're doing nationals, and then it just went like round and round. And you'd probably maybe have 3 weeks off, and then you're back into it again. So I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I actually need a break.
Need a break, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it around that time playing in those teams when you got to Canterbury Uni that you sort of you sort of realised that something was missing with your links to your heritage, or did you sort of realise it beforehand?
No,
you said most of your teammates were brown.
Yeah, I gravitated towards them because they were brown.
Yeah.
But
some of them, I'm guessing, like a university environment, you get people from all around the country. So some of them must have been able to speak te reo or...
Not really.
No.
Right. Not many of my friends...
It's just the era.
Look, I think that, there is statistics showing that there's a big fat era in there that because of obviously policies and governments and things like that, the Native School Act that lasted for 100 years, banning te reo and things like that.
Yeah, 'cause your dad's probably at that age where he got like whacked over the knuckles if he tried to speak
absolutely.
Māori in school.
Yeah. But he could speak, he can understand it, but he can't speak it.
Yeah.
So he's 84 now. So not many of us could speak Māori. And some of us were Ngāi Tahu, some of us, it wasn't because of the connection there. Maybe it was in terms of the fact that we're all brown and we all thought we were funny. So, you get a bunch of
your tribe, your community.
Yeah, exactly. You get a bunch of brown people together, and you're making fun of each other to start off with. But the jokes are just going left, right, and centre. Like we're joking about everything. So nothing's like really, and you're doing crazy stuff, But that's the time where I was probably when I was doing that 5 to 6 years of just everything. I was drinking really heavily. Like I was killing it. I was winning. I was winning at that. So it's like that's a crazy time.
Yeah. Well, no wonder you were burnt out. It probably wasn't just the sport. It was the whole lifestyle, burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, I was still working. I was, uni, work, training. Sometimes you're in Hong Kong for a couple of weeks, and then sometimes you were in Paris for a couple of weeks.
Talking about that time at Canterbury Uni, I've heard you say that at the time you were on the road to jail.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is that just like an embellishment? Or?
No, not at all. No, so this is, like I said, that at this time I was pretty angry, very, very angry would be the word. And we used to get into fights all the time, like honestly, like because of the alcohol, because who we were hanging out with. It could be 3 o'clock coming out of a nightclub and just, I don't know, things happen.
And I wouldn't want to fuck with you at 3 o'clock outside the night.
Well,
what was the anger about? Just the upbringing?
Obviously, so...
learning difficulties as well, I guess.
Learning difficulties, yep. A little bit of ADHD going on in there in terms of behavioural stuff, dysregulation in my nervous system, all those sorts of things. lots of alcohol, and just angry, you know. I just had this...
Just angry at the world.
Just angry. I was just really... I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, I was supposed to go to the Olympics for hockey, and I was just so freaking angry about stuff that I was self-sabotaging left, right and centre, so I was never going to get there. I'm all good with it now, but I've made peace with it. And then I just felt as though that life was really fucking difficult. And I got thrown...
Were you like a victim mindset?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I had I pretty much had very much, it was just like, it was me against the world sort of thing. And I didn't really have any sort of care on whether I lived or died sort of scenarios. Like, not that I would ever...
It's a reckless place to be living.
It's a very reckless place to be living in, because you don't have any care about anybody else. You don't even care about yourself. And so I'll tell you what, I got... Not many people know this, but I got into a situation where I had to get out pretty quickly, and if it hadn't gone the way that down, I would have been in jail. That's how bad it got.
Well, you keen to elaborate or not?
Not really. It was as I would put it, it was misidentification.
Oh my God.
Would be the word, yeah. So basically, we got into a fight with people. I might have started it, and they ended up finger pointing somebody else because I jumped into a taxi.
Oh, so some innocent party took the rap for you.
Some innocent party got arrested, sort of thing. Yep. And so they got arrested, and they couldn't identify the actual person who started it, which was me. And so it kind of went away, you know. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was many years ago. This isn't going to get you in trouble now?
No, I didn't get arrested, so it's all good. But, like, you know, so those sorts of things happen frequently. Like, they were happening for at least probably 5 to 6 years, you know. And you know, one of my best friends, most placid person on earth, we ended up in this fight. Who wants to see women fighting anyway? Like, no, except in a boxing ring, right?
Or the UFC.
Who wants to see like that? But those days, like you're like hitting somebody who was probably, you know, skinny white lady, and you end up hitting somebody, and you're bigger than them anyway, so. It's not a fair fight. It's not something that you want to be doing. And who the hell wants to see that sort of thing? Anyway, we're in this tuffle, I guess, or scuffle. And my best friend's trying to stop it because placid as. I don't know how we ended up best friends because I'm like that and she's like that, like, you know.
Opposites attract.
And she's saved me so many times over. We played very much a lot of rugby league, and she saved me so many times. So we sit there and fucking hands are going hard, and then she gets a wallop like right on the eye. Teacher, go to school with this black eye, and she's just like, what? I can't hang out with you anymore. Like,
we can't be friends.
Yeah, you are just like out the frigging gate. Like you are. I've got a profession, and I'm like, yeah, and what, you know, no care in the world, sort of thing. Like, I didn't really understand that. I do now. Like,
just a bit selfish and self-centered at the time in a way.
Selfish sounds, yeah, and I wasn't a great teammate.
Yeah, like, you
know, I got kicked out of the Canterbury Touch team. I got kicked out of the rugby league team. I got kicked out of Aotearoa Sevens. Got asked to come back. I got kicked out of the New Zealand side because I was really selfish, and obviously I'm not now, but you know, when I look back on it, and I was just like, God damn it, you know, I had all of those opportunities in the world, and that's why when you go Google me, you only get like a small piece of it, and you get some coaching stuff, and get this and this, because I self-sabotage right throughout that.
So you could have been exceptional
I could have been,
being very good.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I was very good. I was pretty average.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you were in the Kiwi Ferns League team that won the World Cup in 2003, and you scored a try. So
yeah, lucky.
Let's not downplay your achievements.
I think I fell over the line on that one those 3 times.
But you've done a lot of work. You've done a fuck ton of work. Have you had like counselling or professional help, or have you just sort of figured it out on your...
Oh, definitely had professional help. Yeah. But also like I think it's reflection on some of your actions, you know, and just really like, you know, you think about when you're going through it, I feel as though that I started off at the bottom and had all of these traumatic things and things that happened to me. But because I started so back, I had to come so far. And so it took me so long to realise that the only person who's going to save you is you. The only person that is going to help you or get you through this or get what you want out of this is you. And so, because I was kind of waiting for someone to save me. And personal relationships is the same thing. Oh, I'm terrible to date. Like, I'm terrible.
I was going to wonder about that in the university years. So, I had some mates of mine that loved brawling. They'd love going out on the weekend and they'd look for fights at parties and stuff. And I was never into that. But most of these guys, when they got into a relationship, it was sort of the stabiliser that they needed. Did you not have like a partner that was like, hey, Mary, come on, let's not go
No,
out
because I'm so stubborn that I just kind of did. I was just like, you can say that, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Like, thank you for your input. Like,
yeah. I appreciate the suggestion, but no.
Yeah. So I've had to really I've really had to dig deep around that the personal relationships. And, they've hurt, some of those relationship breakups, they've really hurt. And I've really had to grow from those.
Yeah. Are you into guys or girls or both?
Girls.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking, Dom.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it? Yeah. So again, that.
No. Well, I just wonder if that was another thing in the shitstorm that you had going on. Like you weren't connected with your culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were these unresolved anger issues. You had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Maybe the drinking problem was caused and sexuality. Like how long were you in denial for, or keeping that? Coming to terms with that.
Yeah, well, I don't really talk about this much, but
we don't have to.
No,
yeah.
I don't mind. So I'm a bit of a funny one. So I was, how do I put this? I was out, but I wasn't, would be the word. So like my friends knew, like rugby players, soccer players, cricket players, we all hung out. So party, right? But like I never really discussed it or anything like that, or I never really sort of said, hey, I'm over here, I'm a lesbian, come see me, sort of thing. I never had those discussions. I never even had a discussion with my father. To this day, I've never said to him, hey Dad, guess what, this is what I am. I had a discussion when I came out to my mother when I was about 19, and wasn't great. She wasn't great. No, it wasn't that she wasn't great. She was just like, I love you, but I'm sure this is just a phase.
What, were they religious or?
No. Absolutely not religious.
Justify it, but you can understand if it's what they believe in the Bible or whatever.
Yeah, so not religious at all. Okay. And I just think it was that time, right? And I come from the smallest town on earth. Yeah, come on.
You had so much going against you, like That's
what I mean by starting at the bottom.
Māori, gay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fucking alcoholic, ADHD, dyslexia. Anyone want to carry on with the list? So to even go to university, I was the first person in my family to get a degree. So that's you've got the context of that. When I talk to my other friends who are not Māori, they're like, oh, yeah, we talked about education right through our lives. I was like, my parents didn't even know. They're like, so what are you going to do next year? I'm like, I don't know. Like, stay home with you? And they're like, absolutely not. My mother was just like, you know what? You've got two options here. You either go to university or I'm sending you to the army. I was like, is this a joke? And she's like, no, it's not a joke. She drove me to Dunedin to sit there to do the army test. And I sat down, did the army test, and I came back out and she goes, right, what do you think? I said, take me to fucking Christchurch. I am not going into the... I will not survive.
I don't know. I feel like in that environment you would have thrived.
Maybe.
Maybe not at that time, though.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I would have got... What do they call that? Military disbarred, or... I would have got...
you're kicked out.
I would have got kicked out.
God.
I definitely would have got kicked out.
And who's Peter Joseph?
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So
he took you overseas on your first trip, right?
Yeah.
First time out of the country to Hong Kong.
First time out of the country. I'd never been out of the country before. He took a bunch of Māori women who from real small areas. So some of them are from up in Whakatane, Bay of Plenty, and all around that area. Some Aucklanders. I was the only South Islander at the time, and then Tessa came on board. He took a bunch of Māori women overseas to Hong Kong. And have you been to Hong Kong?
Yeah, I have.
It's
a
crazy.
hectic place. Oh, it's not Riverton.
It's not Riverton, is it? And there's the cultural aspects to it, and there's people freaking everywhere. The smells are out the gate. It's just busy, right? And he took us over there, and I was just like, man, we were like in La La Land. I didn't know what the hell was going on, to be honest. It was crazy.
Amazing. And is that where you met Jonah? There's a photo I saw online of you with Jonah. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at that photo, there's a few famous people in there. There's Honey Hidemi in that. There's Amy, what's her last name? She went and played for Australia and got a Olympic medal for them, like a gold medal from there. There's a few people in that photo. They're just awesome people. And Jonah.
So did you have an encounter with Jonah, or was it just a photo op?
We had a photo op and had a wee talk to him and stuff like that, but nothing really, to be honest.
But you didn't pick a fight with him?
Absolutely not. We did. Do you know we did get in a fight in Hong Kong? So there you go.
Oh my God.
So
that's the sort of place you could get incarcerated for years.
Well, so we had a Pākehā Māori, we called her. So she was definitely not Māori, but man, she was a good rugby player. Stephanie Mortimer, she's Broomhall now. She won the try of the year in 1991 or 2000 or something like that. She ran past Mega Fonze and stuff like that. Anyway, we were out, and this guy was actually slapping around a woman in the middle of the street. And Hong Kong's crazy because and then we went to stop it, and he just started picking up chairs and started throwing, and I was like, whoa! And then I went that way, and Steph just went, and it just clocked her straight in the head and split her eye open. So we had to put her in the ambulance, and she went to the ambulance and hospital, and they're like, oh, we need to stitch you up, but you've been drinking, you can't have any anaesthetic. Oh my God. So she got stitched up with no anaesthetic.
That's badass.
That's bad. So there's some crazy, women's rugby is so different from what it used to be like.
In terms of professionalism?
100%. I'm so glad it's not this.
Seems like it needed to change.
Oh, it absolutely did. Like, you cannot do the stuff that we did compared to what you can't do that now. You just look. Anna Richards played for Australia, and so did Amelia Marsh. So if you even know who Anna Richards is, she's a bit of a legend and stuff like that in rugby terms. She was playing for Australia at that Hong Kong Sevens tournament. So you could play for anybody.
Yeah. So it was in 2003, I mentioned this before, that you were playing league for the Kiwi. You were in the Kiwi Ferns for like 3 years, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4 years, yeah.
So you say you were pretty average, but those stats would disagree. I'd say you were pretty good, including winning the World Cup in 2003. So that was 20 years ago. You were still drinking heavily then?
Yeah.
But there must have been like a certain level of discipline or professionalism going on.
I had the ability,
some sort of like control, or
I had the ability to get up and get going, if that makes sense. So in that time, in those 5 to 6 years that I was playing probably at the peak that I ever got to, I trained a lot, and I guess I had really good people around me, like Tessa Takahu, who is a crazy trainer. She actually won. Just recently, she's a little bit older than I am. She got 6th at the World CrossFit Champs Masters.
Wow.
Yeah. So just think of in those terms, I was training with her, and so she'd be just like, "Hurry up, keep up." Could never keep up with her. I could never lift as much as she could. I was this, I'm short. Yeah. And so and she's just a ball of muscles. And so I was just like, oh, I might as well just train with you. So I trained a lot with her, and I had the ability to just get up, but I also had the ability to party and then get up and go again. So I think at one stage for Hong Kong, and these aren't great stories. These are not good stories. For anyone at home who ever wants to do any sport, this is not good stories.
By the way, I think they're great stories just because of where you are at now in life, and the fact that you've been through this, I don't know, a dark period, I guess, and you are through the other side. I think it's kind of inspirational.
So
the good war stories.
Yeah, I was the captain of the Canterbury Sevens side that won very long time ago. I can't even remember when we won it. But before that, I'd been out drinking in the nightclub, and someone had to come and get me out of the nightclub to catch the flight.
Oh my God, Mary.
Those things happen. And then it happened again when I was going to Hong Kong. Like, someone again had to come and get me, help me in my car, get going. I slept on the flight, and then we got off the flight and we started training. So I had like freaking like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes sleep.
How old were you at the time? Like early 20s?
No, I was like 25, 20, oh yes, 27-ish.
Getting to that demographic where,
Come on!
where you don't bounce back in terms of hangovers.
Come on!
Grow up.
Yeah, fucking cop on. But I didn't though. I didn't cop on till like, man, I spent like 6 years in Ireland. So I didn't cop on through that. Like they were like, we drank through the week and...
You like...
I found my people.
I think I'm Māori, I think I'm Irish.
yeah. I probably am a little bit Irish. But, you know, like we were just like, man, they can drink those Irish. Like those pubs are full.
And fight as well. They like drinking and fighting apparently.
Yeah, I didn't fight when I was there. Okay. So the fighting actually stopped around about that age anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, because so you started coaching in 2012. You coached here, Australia, Japan, Ireland, USA... Scotland, Italy, Estonia. Yeah,
all over the place.
So during this entire coaching period, you were still like a little bit chaotic.
Very chaotic, yeah. It's very chaotic. It was also, I think...
You must have had it under wraps to some degree. Like, were you quite stealthy with it?
No.
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 How come you never sort of called out or no one pulled you up on it?
I think because I don't look drunk.
You just handle your piss.
No, I don't know. I just don't. I don't. My moods don't change, sort of thing. I'm just.
So you're not getting extra aggressive or violent.
No,
or
not.
nasty
But by the time the end of it, no. But you know, get to me to some point, it might happen. But I just didn't. It didn't look. I didn't look drunk. I looked the same from the start to finish. Unless I got really wasted and then someone's taking me, like, helping me into a taxi. But like, you know, so I didn't. You know, I wasn't a messy drunk. I wasn't wasted. Like, I didn't look wasted, but I was. Like, I was like totally wasted. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like people were like, no, you don't even look drunk. And I'm like, I am so wasted right now. And the funny thing about it is that I'd have one drink and I could feel alcohol really quickly. So I'd get drunk really quickly and then just kind of monotone it through. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So, you said at the beginning, I'm just doubling back here, so you only sort of gave up drinking at the start of this year.
Completely, yeah.
So for the last few years, you've just been drinking moderately, like a normal...
Moderately, normal. What happened, I started getting sick. Like I was spewing every time. Like I'd have a couple of drinks and then I'd be in the toilet spewing. And so I was like, man, there's something wrong here. Like, and then I just was like, and like you said, the bounce back. You know, the hangovers.
How old are you now?
45.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, right?
No, it doesn't. And so, like, the bounce backs, I was moody and, you know, I just really my body didn't feel right. My brain didn't feel right. And I was just like, I can't actually do this anymore. I can't actually function. I can actually not function. Whereas before, I'd be just getting up and go.
Yeah, and if you've got, like, if you've got like some sort of like underlying like mental health issues or unresolved stuff, you can numb that pain with alcohol, but then the next day it's even worse. It's even the depression.
Yeah, what do they say? It's 20 minutes of dopamine and the rest of it hell.
Yeah,
the depression
just
kicks
exasperates the problems.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a depressant. Yeah, I've got a conflicted relationship with alcohol.
Have you?
Like I know I drink more than what I should, and I'm the same as you. Like. Friends will say to me, I don't think I've ever seen you drunk.
Yeah.
You know, but I can knock back a couple of bottles of wine and
jeez, Dom. I'm surprised there isn't a bottle of wine right here now, Dom.
Oh no, I've been alcohol shamed by many. Yeah, no, it's interesting, and I know it's not good for me, and I know I need to get a grasp on it. But it's I'd even ask myself potentially if I'm an alcoholic, but society has told us that an alcoholic is someone that's sleeping in their car or sleeping rough or, you know, drinking, vodka out of a pump bottle or you're drinking in the morning. And that's not me.
And sipping it all day and, you know, and hiding your bottles and the thing.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So, so when did you just reach the conclusion on your own that you needed some help?
I reached the conclusion that I wasn't a good drunk.
Yeah.
And, and it wasn't helping my relationships with anybody. And so, and at the time, I guess my partner was drinking, and that was triggering the shit out of me because my father drank, and then my grandfather drank, and so, you know, so I just got to the point where I was actually, I just don't want to drink, and but no one tells you when you stop drinking what that after effect, you have to pay for every little sin afterwards. Like, you know, you what
do you mean?
It's like, for me, I don't know what it's like for anyone else, but like your feelings are amplified because you've numbed them for so long, or you've disassociated from them, or whatever, however you dealt with it. Now your feelings are definitely amplified, and you figure out, oh my God, I've got feelings.
So when you say pay for every sin, do you mean like current guilt and shame about current stuff, or old stuff as well?
Old stuff I wouldn't give a rat's ass about. Yeah, I don't care about old stuff. It is what it is, you know. But yeah, it's that stuff where like now you've done something and you're like probably said something you should haven't said, which happens, and then forever you're like, oh, I should have said that, and do you know? And you're kind of like,
I think that's normal, eh? I think
but like before when you were drinking, not a rat's ass, no fucks given.
I suppose now that you're not drinking, at least when you wake up in the morning, you're not going to be like, fuck, what did I say last night? What did I do?
I didn't care. No, like, because I was drunk. Like, do you know what I mean? I had that backstop where I could explain my way out of it. Well, sorry about that. It was a little bit, had too many of the whiskies, and I apologise. But now
blame it on the alcohol.
I can blame it on the alcohol, but now I've just go, sorry, that's just my personality. I'm sorry, I'm an ass.
Read Ruby's book. I'm famously abrupt.
Before we get into this conversation, I just want to apologise. I'm going to be a total arsehole soon.
Wow. So, and was there like a rock bottom? Like, what was the catalyst that made you get some like counselling or therapy?
I think the first time I went to counselling, I was in Canada coaching, and probably one of my relationship fails. And man, we drank heaps. We were drinking heaps, and I was just sitting there one night, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm not okay. I'm not okay in terms of like, I'm actually drinking more than what I used to, and I'm drinking a lot, a lot, and you know, I'm racing over police cars and running over them and doing.
Oh my God, how old were you then?
Could have been 35.
So you're one of my mates, you know, I told you about my mates that like fighting. Yeah, one of them was famous for doing that, would walk from pub to pub or club to club, and he'd go run over people's cars or whatever.
Did he run over a police car?
No, not a police car.
In Canada?
But also, it's kind of crack up when you're 19, 20, 21.
Not in your 30s, right? Like, you know?
Oh my God.
Because I played like top level rugby right till I was 37. And then I just slowly, like, you know, stopped playing in Ireland, then went to Canada for a wee bit, and I played one game in there. This is not a good story, but...
no, these stories are great stories.
This is not a good story. Okay. But anyway, we were short, and they said, oh, can you jump on? I said, yeah, sure, whatever. Sat there, passed the ball a couple of times, and then, because I was really not interested in playing, and I was hungover. And then I don't know what happened. We were in there. We're doing okay. It was hot as hell because it's in the Canadian. We were down in Edmonton. It's the summer, so it's really hot. And I'm sweating away. I'm like dying, and I just kept on getting hit by this player, and I was just like, oh, look, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna knock you out. And she's just like, because she must have done it 3 or 4 times, and I hate being hit when I didn't even have the ball.
Oh, okay, so she was playing dirty.
Yeah, and then she just goes, and then she did it again. I got up and I walked towards her, and she just put her arm back, and I just went donk. She just like knocked her out.
Did warn her.
I did warn her, and then so anyone listening to this, you're not allowed. You're actually not allowed to do that. So I got recarded. And this is the horrible thing. This is why I didn't really want to talk about it. After the game, she came up to me, And I said, look, I'm really sorry that I hit you. I don't know. I thought you were going to hit me, you know. And she goes, do you realise I'm only 18?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my fucking God. Yep.
So how was that not the moment where you made wholesale changes to your life?
That was the start of it.
Okay. Slow learner.
And I was just like, I am so freaking sorry. Like, you know, and like, far out. You can blame whatever you want at it. You can blame all these things, all the trauma, but doing that to somebody who doesn't deserve that, even if she put her hand, like, even, it does not matter. Like, you know what I mean? So I went to the guy, who owned basically the club, and I said to him, I need help. I'm fucking drowning in my own shit, basically. I don't know if I'm going to survive this. Like, I'm too old to be doing this. I'm not okay. Like, I'm really not okay. I think I need help. And
was it hard for you to say that? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I needed help years ago. Like, but it was the first time I'd actually, like, I needed it when in my 20s. Like, you know, to be fair. And I was now like, what, 35, 36?
Yeah.
Like,
It seems alarming in a way that it took you to say that. You think someone else would have said something over the years. I suppose maybe you weren't ready for it. It's amazing there wasn't some sort of an intervention by teammates. Or
I got away with so much shit. It's not funny. Like, I got away with it, and that's, you know, and I got away with it. Like, it's not like no one, and they might have said something like off cuff and stuff like that, joking around, but no one actually was just like, Medi, what the hell are you doing? Like,
you need to get your shit together.
You need to get your shit together. Like, you know, and like I said, I'd been kicked off so many teams, but brought back because at some point in time they kicked me off, and then I'd just work harder. So I had to get back on the team. And I'd just stand on the sideline sort of thing going, yeah, I can make this team. I'll get back on sort of thing. I had that confidence that I could do it. And I don't know where it came from. But so he got me the help. And he paid for it. Like,
so what was that, like a therapist?
Yep, he got me a psychologist, and we started journaling and gave me some techniques around some things. And, you know, that 18-year-old, even though I'd done that, I had been in a boxing ring. Like, I'd done Fight for Life in Ireland. So I'd been in, so I don't know if I'm telling the story very well, but to do that to somebody is out the frickin' gate. It's just not okay. And so it was, and so I saw her for the rest of my time in Canada. And then when I came back to You're
like, how often? Weekly? Every couple of weeks?
Yeah, every second day. Yeah. Every second day, because I was at that point where I needed more than usual would be the word.
And that's quite confronting when you start digging around and, you know, speaking. It's like pulling at a thread of cotton on a t-shirt.
Woo, unravel it.
What did you find? What was the main root of your problems? Was it the sexuality thing, the Māori, being Māori?
No, sexuality thing, I'd come to grips with that.
Yeah.
That was all good. Māori, I knew who I was, so that was fine. And I did need to reconnect with my people. That was something. It was round about rejection and abandonment. So I felt really abandoned, and I felt really unloved. And I felt like nobody would love me, or nobody would want me. And so those, and even now today, I'm working through those sorts of things. But it was
who from? Like, from your family, or?
Yeah. So
where did the abandonment issue stem from? Because I was a guardian of a nephew for a while. There's a family adoption. So my wife's nephew, he came to live with us from like the age of 4 years and 11 months, and we had to have a lot of therapy on his behalf because he's young. And you learn so much. You learn about the 80% of the brain development's done in the first 1,000 days.
Yeah.
Also, he had like attachment disorder and abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And because of that, the therapist explained to us, it's like whenever he starts getting close to someone, he would push them away. So he'd try and make our lives difficult and push us away, so that when we eventually give up on him, he can be like, "That's it.
Yeah. I was right.
Another person ditches me."
Yeah.
So where was your abandonment issues from?
So. And you know, everyone has a traumatic story, and whether it's extreme or not, it's their story. But also, hate being alone. Like I do not like it, which I've had to work really hard. I'm a lot better now. I don't mind it now. My own company's great. I think I'm funny. So
You are funny, by the way.
Thanks. I guess from my father, who I thought that didn't really, like, even now I have a difficult relationship with him. We're a lot better. We are a lot better.
Do you think that's just his age and the way he was brought, or the military thing? He just wasn't very good at showing affection, or
showing, like, you know, to get him to say I love you. You're like, love you, Dad. Ugh. Like, you're just like, alrighty. But
he's like a New Zealand man born in the 1940s, 1950s.
Yeah. He's like 83 years old. Give him a chance, you know. But like he's a very manly man, Māori. So and he was brought up in violence as well, probably more than what I was. So. And he was very sort of matter of fact. You either do this or this is going to happen, sort of thing. And so, very much, I just didn't feel as though that he loved me. And and to this day I struggle with it. I came back after Ireland. I moved back home, and I lived with him for a wee bit just to get myself. But I had a house in Invercargill, and I was moving out and getting my stuff back into the house and getting myself sorted, sort of thing. And I don't know if I should say this, but something had happened. It was just before COVID, and something had happened to him, and he just lost his shit. And he was just like, "You're fucking dumb. You're useless as tits on a ball." This is this kind of stuff that we do.
This is your dad.
This is my dad.
He was like 80 years old at this time, or late 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're useless as tits on a ball. This is what we heard when we were growing up. And I turned round and walked towards him, and I was like, there's only one, and he called me stupid as well, which I'm not. There's only one stupid motherfucker standing in front of me who can't even write a letter to something. So don't you dare call me stupid when I've got a degree and I'm just about to go off and do masters. So don't you dare. Absolutely, but there was some F words thrown in the F way. So, and I was walking.
Why did you start self-editing now?
Yeah, well, I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Oh man, that's a heartbreaking story.
And I walked towards him like we were gonna go tong to tong, and I got halfway over the road, and I had this realization, oh my God, and I was shaking, and I was like, I am going to hit the one person that I want love from. And I stopped myself, and I was just like, you need to leave. You need to get your stuff, and you need to go. And I will try and reconnect another time, but you need to fuck off. And he took off. I went out there a week later, and he's just like, get out of my house. I don't want anything to do with you. And I said, Dad, if you kick me out, I will not come back. I will not reconnect with you. I'm not fucking around with you. And so it took us a wee while to sort that out, and we've slowly but surely, I've put some boundaries in how he speaks to me, because he used to just like, you know, it just used to talk to me like a piece of shit. Like,
which is not cool, but you think, oh, I'm feeling sad about this story.
It's awful.
You get emotional when you tell it? Or are you sort of like a bit numb to it? It's a heartbreaking story.
It's awful. You see
a lot of guys like, I'm thinking of like, yeah, my dad's a similar age. He's in his late 70s, and my uncles and stuff, and they were all pretty staunch, but they generally sort of soften as they get older. But it seems like if your dad's doing that at 79, 80, it's like there's been no sort of change or growth.
Well, so he's not as hard as he used to be, and he's not as explosive as he used to be, but something must have happened that day to really stress him out, right? And, you know, if I really stood back and looked at it, he's bloody 80 years old. Like, he probably couldn't, like, write it. He doesn't understand how to, you know, use his ATM card or his cell phone or something, you know. So
it's a compassionate way of looking at it.
So, you know, so with me and him now, there's definitely boundaries. And he gets overwhelmed quite easily, and I put the boundary in there. If you talk to me like that, I'll leave. I'm not putting up with this. And so now we have a better relationship than we've ever had, which is something that I've always wanted with him, is a relationship with him, because I never had, I had a relationship with my mother, but not him. And so I guess I'm conscious that he's 83.
Yeah, his time here is limited.
Yeah, so let's just get the best out of this, best out of the situation.
And you're not going to change him now, too.
Oh, absolutely not.
But also, like, you look at, when things happen, like the incident in Canada where you say to that girl, if you do that one more time, I'm going to knock you out. Do you have moments of realisation where you're like, oh my God, I am my father?
Yes. Yeah. So that's half the problem. I hated him. Like, I detested him. I didn't speak to him for 2 years because he called me fat in front of people. And I was not fat. I was an athlete.
He shamed you out, dear.
He shamed me out in front of people.
Call me stupid, but don't call me overweight.
Yeah. Oh, you can call me fat now, but like back then, I was an actual athlete. I was like all of 70 kilos and like had shoulder and hamstrings. Yeah. And he's calling me fat in front of somebody. I was like, oh, dude. Whoa. And so we just basically just didn't talk to each other. Like we were like, if he was there, hi Dad, and we just never did. And I just wanted him to love me. I just wanted him to show, and I wanted him to say he was proud of me. I wanted to say, hey, the stuff, always was yearning for that, and I was chasing it.
That validation.
Has
he said it? Has he said he's proud of you? I bet he is. Maybe part of him's jealous as well, because it's like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and you've done a lot of work to get where you are, and he's never had the courage or the will or whatever to do that work that
probably the opportunity because he had kids quite young.
Okay,
and he had to work. Like he left home at 14 and had to work, so, and then had kids, so.
Yeah, also it's not a therapy generation, and even if it was, it's like $300 for a session. Okay, no.
Get out
the kids
of here.
need shoes.
Yeah, we need, he's a freezing worker, so he ain't a lot of money. So I think, for what I've been told by people when they see him, he talks about me in a good light, and he even calls me by my name, Mary. Otherwise, he'll call me Mary. And which I cannot stand being called.
So like the Pākehā version of Mary.
Yeah. So like basically you go, oh, this is my daughter Mary. Come around Māoris, oh, my daughter Mary. You're just like, oh, she's so good and she does this, and you're just like, where did you come from?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, he is proud of you. Maybe he just finds it hard to sort of articulate.
I think so.
But what about you? Are you proud of yourself? That's the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I think like I look back and. I've done some really crazy stuff, some really cool stuff. Like I coached the Estonian men's team, for Christ's sake, sorry. And they were awesome. I've done some really funny stuff, like coaching in Japan was one of my highlights. We won that tournament. Coaching and in the States where I had an Olympic development group that I really loved. They were really cool people. Coaching in Italy where they're like, English was 0 and I'm coaching full sessions in Italian and I can't speak Italian. So I still can't speak Italian. Same in Japan.
How does that work? You're coaching these foreign countries like Estonia or Italy. Like, how do you get around the language barrier?
So there was like a semi-translator. So she would like
It's a long training.
It's a long training, yes. You might have a planned a session for an hour and a half. It turns into be 2 hours because you're like drawing where everything needs to be. So a good whiteboard, good understanding, a little bit of a demonstration. Let's get to it. And you're like, no, you didn't understand that. So, Japan, I really love Japan. I had a great time. Ireland, I was there for 6 years. The team that I coached that I set up over there, it was one of the best teams in the world now. A lot of them are playing in the Irish squad. They're playing in the Sevens, and they, text me every now and then, and I just love it. Like, it's cool. Like, they're awesome people. Awesome bunches of people that I worked with. So, yeah.
And so what languages can you speak? You must be able to speak a little bit.
None. Como stay? Konnichiwa, dozo yoroskos, meritus. Like, that's nothing.
Right.
Dojabu, nothing.
But do you speak fluent Tadeo?
No.
Terrible. But how connected are you with your culture now? Like, have you done some work there? Or?
Yeah, so I'm doing my master's in treaty partnerships and alignment and building a rubric and basically, doing some research around how to partner with Māori. So that's been really amazing. So I've learned a lot.
You're doing that at the moment?
Yeah, I'm doing that with ag research. So So I work for Ag Research now.
Your dad's very wrong. There's nothing stupid about you.
I'm not stupid. No. A little bit dyslexic. Believe me. Texting is not my thing. Do not text me. Ring me.
No, but I think that makes it even more inspiring, because it's like, say most people that don't have dyslexia, say they're starting on a 0. If you've got dyslexia, it's like you're starting on a -2.
Oh,
so or negative whatever. You've got to work that much harder.
Good, yeah, but you can just look. You got to play to your strengths, and texting and writing is not my strength. Okay, so I'm pretty lucky that because I've identified that I've got dyslexia, part of the learning journey, I guess, I get a reader-writer. So I will gather the information, get as much together as I can, and then me and the reader-writer will sit down and then we'll basically compose it all together. And then you get an academic person to help you. And so I have a lot of help, but man, does it take a lot longer than a normal person. Holy crapazoid.
Yeah, and are you still high performance manager at Rugby Southland?
No, stop that.
Oh, girl, you need to update your LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
But I mean, so that is a job that you've had. So you've got these, you've had this amazing, varied career, including some sort of like office jobs, I guess, like that.
Yeah, office jobs. Oof. Yeah.
So now you're a commentator for Sky Sport and Māori TV.
Yeah, so I do FPC when we've got when they give you the work, I guess, because you're a contractor, and then for Whakaata Māori we do like the Super 8s, which is all over the place. So that's schoolboy rugby.
Yeah. Cool. And your mental health, how's that now? Have you noticed like a significant improvement since you started?
No, I think it's got worse. Like I think I feel everything, right. and I'm just. Like, I feel absolutely everything now, like, and so I've had to work really hard and pull all of those tools out to go, it's just, you're just sober. That's pretty much what I put it down to. You're just sober now. So it's like, this is what the normal world looks like.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I found, like, I guess for me, I love drinking because it was fun. Like a great time. The dopamine hits were amazing. The fogginess, not so much, right? That coming down. And so now I'm just like, I feel as though that my life is like really sort of what I would call boring.
But after the chaos, the chaos that you've had, is the boredom or the boring kind of nice?
The peacefulness is different. Like I'm at peace with a lot of things. Yeah. But I do sometimes, I'm just like, ooh, like, I'm like, what can I do that's kind of a bit fun and things like
edgy,
that?
Yeah.
A bit edgy,
By the way, can I just say how refreshing it is and how much I love the way you speak about that? Because you get a lot of your reformed drinkers. And they'll be like, oh, you sleep so much better, my skin improved, my life's so much better, blah, blah, blah. It's nice hearing you say, no, I miss this.
I do. I miss the, we went, when we were over in the States for 4 weeks coaching, everyone goes out drinking. I was like, oh, I'm not going to go out because I'm boring. But I went out, and had a good time and, stuck on the soda waters and things like that. And I was just like, oh, yeah, this is all right. But in my head, I was like, fuck, this is boring. Like, I am so boring right now. There's people jumping up on the tables. They look like they're having fun. I'm standing here watching the people jumping up on the tables, and I'm thinking, man, that looks fun.
Yeah, but the Mary that I've sat down with for the last, 80 minutes, that's a fun fucking person.
Is it?
Yeah. I could imagine you, do you just not have the desire to jump on tables like when you were... Because I can imagine you jumping on a table. I can't imagine.
No. Not sober.
Well, so what's the rest of your life going to look like? What's next? What's coming up? Are you much of a planner or goal setter? Or you just see what comes your way?
I haven't really. I've sort of been a bit funny with the goal setting. Normally I'm like, I'm going to do this. So when I was coaching, I was like, I'm going to go to America. I'm going to go to Japan. And same with playing. I'm going to play for the Kiwis. Do you know what I mean? I found that once I stopped really playing high performance, I was like, who am I? Who am I? I've done all this sport all my life. I can't run anymore because I've got plates all through my ankles. Like, I'm just like, so who am I now? Who is Medi Baker? Like, like, am I a coach? Am I somebody who works for ag research? Am I a friend? Am I a family member? What the hell am I? Like, and it's taken me along, probably in the last couple of years, to go, actually, I am someone that's I'm going to do this because I really enjoy it. I'm passionate about rugby. Do I want to coach forever? Probably not. Do I want to be a part of rugby? Yeah, but I don't want to be I don't really want to spend 24/7 in rugby. Do I want my family connection? Absolutely. Of course I do. So, you know, but that's nephews, nieces, all those sorts of things are really important to me now. But my friends are really important. My friends group are really important as well. And so I took a bit of time out from probably January to now, where I just kind of isolated myself a little bit to actually go, righto, what does Medi Baker want? And Medi Baker wants security when she's retired. I still want to have a little bit of fun, so I want to hang out with my friends. I want that social connections, and I want my family around me as much as possible as that can happen.
Yeah.
So that's what's more important to me now. Not going to America and coaching in PN Sevens. I had a great time, but it didn't really like it. Again, I kind of was like a bit flat. Like I loved it. It was fun. I didn't love it. Sorry. I did love it, but it was flat. Like, you know, it wasn't this like, yay. Like, it was just weird. I feel like I'm a zombie. And so that's where...
Just nothing was sort of bringing you like the joy or the happiness you thought it would?
Maybe joy. Joy is the word. And so this year I've had to really think about, you know, I want that lifetime partner. I want that person that's going to be that special person. But I'm also really fucking scared of it.
Are you in a relationship at the moment?
No. So, and...
Well, you've got to move out of Bluff for starters.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm moving to Christchurch in 2 weeks, so that's the first thing. You know,
turn on Grindr and Bluff. What are you going to find?
Do females go on Grindr?
I don't know.
Yeah, so like, you know, and just sort of like, and I really did hit away. I basically took some time. I needed that time. It did take me longer than expected. And, you know, I had a massive relationship breakup in January and
How long were you in a relationship for?
3 years. Yeah. So not relatively long, you know, like.
Well, no, it is though.
It's enough for it's enough for me, believe me. So so I just sort of said, no, I need to actually sit down and actually be alone, be okay with being alone. And then, you know, I dated another person after that. They were really lovely. It just didn't work out. Like, and it's just one of those things. It's not like it wasn't a breakup like the explosive breakup that people think. You know, it's just
relationships usually fizzle out. They run their course.
Yeah, they run their course. Yeah. And I just think I'm one of those people that are shit scared of relationships as well. Like shit scared of being you think about it from the age of, was it 31 or something like that? I don't know. I've been bouncing across the world for the last 10 to 12 years. No, I feel caged in. Like in a relationship, I feel so caged in and I feel as though that I'm going to explode. Like, I have to do the right thing. I have to be the good partner and I have to do this and I have to act like a good partner. But really, what I want to do is want to come in, have a good time, and then kind of go off and do my moody stuff somewhere else. like, you know, and then still do a bit of rugby and still a bit of this, and then I don't have to deal with that shit.
Is this the ADHD, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are you on like Ritalin or Concerta?
No, we're going through the process of what's
so you're not on any meds yet?
No. I've never been on meds, and I honestly was like, look, I was sitting there going, I am not ADHD, because someone was like, I think you might be ADHD. I'm not fucking ADHD. Just stop saying that to me. That's so disrespectful, you know. How dare you call me ADHD? And then I was like, actually.
Might have a point there.
Yeah, you might have. You're a divergent at least. Can we just go how about we just go sprinkles?
Yeah.
Sprinkles of crazy.
Well, it's exciting where you're at. And it's exciting that you're doing the work, and you know that you've got more work to do. I think it's cool. Like every day is a chance to reinvent, or improve, or tweak.
Yeah, tweaking. You always kind of, you know, you talk about people who are like, oh, I want to heal. in my head, I actually don't think that you can heal. I think you can just gain tools to actually mitigate situations.
Well, what would your message be to any like young person? I don't know, like puberty age, teens, early to late 20s, I guess, Māori or otherwise. That's where you were, like just angry, maybe drinking a bit much, mad at the world. Yeah. What would your message be to them? Because it took you a long time and a lot of work to.
I'm definitely a better person now. I'm definitely a better person. Message. It's more like you're not alone. There's people out there that's going through exactly what you're going through. And your mind, and I guess the funny thing is, you go back to what I said to Ruby, I guess, when she was 18, that your mind plays tricks on you. Like, they're there, your mind is there to deceive you. Same thing as, like, you can relate it back to it being an athlete. Your mind is going to tell you can't do it, but your will do it, will get you through. And so I've had to really, I guess the message would be is like, don't listen to your fucking head. It is lying to you. But just check in.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that's really cool. And hopefully someone that needs to hear this will hear it, or someone that knows someone that needs to hear this will pass it on to them. But yeah, ultimately I think you have to reach that point on your own a lot of the time, don't you? Like you did.
Yeah, I do wish that when I was younger, someone pulled me aside. Someone did actually say something to me when I was really younger, and it was actually Tessa's ex-boyfriend. He came up to me and he was just like, do you know you're a really good rugby player and rugby league player? I said, no, I'm just, cruising, because I turned up drunk. And I'm just like, just scored a couple of tries, turning up, half car. And I was like, no, I'm not actually good. And he goes, no, you could go a long way in this sport. You could make the Kiwi ferns. And then, I tapped Tessa on the shoulder. This is when I didn't even know her. And I was like, can I come training? Can I, you're the one with the biggest muscles on the team. Can I come and train with you? And she's like, yep. And so I tuned up after that. And in the end, I did make those teams, but, it wasn't the...
It's funny, that's very similar to the Ruby story about you.
Yeah.
Like you planting the seed in Ruby Tui.
Yeah. Some will be that catalyst of change somewhere along the line. I just wish someone had done it a little bit earlier for me. So like they called me out on my shit. I wish someone had actually called me out. Yeah,
why did you get a free pass for so long?
I'm funny. I don't know. Because I don't think like even though I was getting kicked out of teams left, right and centre, they would bring me back into the team. So like, and I just behave a little bit better, just turn up a little bit earlier or...
So you did know right from wrong and you could help yourself.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
This has been a really enjoyable podcast. I wasn't sure what I was going to get with you. Like I did a bit of research, had some notes, but shit, this has been great. This has been fun. Has it been fun for you?
Yeah, it's been great. Now that I can go off and do my own podcast.
Yeah, cool. I didn't realise you were just using me for my intellectual property.
I hope you can cut some of this. Are you going to cut some of this?
Only I extend an invite to all the guests that if there's anything they want it cut out, like if you go to sleep tonight and you wake up at 4 a.m. and think, oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
No,
look, I'll cut it out. But otherwise, no.
Look, I'm pretty much sure that most people that know me that will listen to this will know the story anyway and know all of the antics that I got up to in the first place and things like that. So, like, is what it is. Yeah, I'm not ashamed.
And nor should you be.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Mary Baker, I'm so pleased that when you slid into my DMs inviting yourself on my podcast, I said, shit, yes, I'm pleased. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're awesome, and thanks for sharing your story.
Don't cry too much tonight, Dom.